was listening to Dave Chappelle last night before I went to sleep. Dave Chappelle was in New York and just talking with some kids at a hostel. And so I just listened to that and just thought he's just a funny guy. And something that he was talking about in that I dreamed about, It's just like listening to Prince and you dream about being at a Prince concert, just like that. Okay, so Miss Charlotte Burrows. And like I said, she was just appointed by President Joe Biden. So she isn't a holdover from the previous administration. She is not. And it says, okay. Yeah, it looks like on January 21st is when she was appointed as the new chair. She reminds me of Condoleezza Rice, very much so. Very much so. That's who she reminds me of when I first look at her. You tell me down below in the comments, okay? If you can see it too. Okay. Okay. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is a federal agency that was established via the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Did you know that? They're not doing their job, which I believe is intentional. Let's move forward. They are to administer and enforce civil rights laws against workplace discrimination. They are failing. The EEOC investigates discrimination complaints based on an individual's race, color, national origin. Okay, so when you file a complaint with the EEOC, they investigate it. Then, after they investigate it and find out, you know what, you were discriminated against, then it's up to you to find an attorney. And normally the statute of limitations are only but so long. It's not like murder where there is no statute of limitations, okay? Discrimination, you only have a specific window in order to file with the EEOC, get the green light, hire a lawyer, and go through discovery and file charges against that workplace. When's the last time you've heard about a discrimination lawsuit? Exactly. Discrimination in the workplace. Okay? Okay. The commission also mediates and settles thousands of discrimination complaints each year prior to their investigation. I've never known them to do that. The EEOC is also empowered to file civil discrimination suits against employers on behalf of alleged victims and to adjudicate claims of discrimination brought against federal agencies. Again, when have you ever heard about that happening. I can try to Google it, but okay. Let's go to race and ethnicity. The EEOC requires employers to report various information about their employees, in particular their racial and ethnic categories, to prevent discrimination based on race and ethnicity. In 1997, the Office of Management and Budget gave a Federal Register notice the revisions to the standards for the classification of federal data on race and ethnicity, which define new racial and ethnic definitions. As of September 30th, 2007, the EEOC's EEO-1 report must use the new racial and ethnic definitions in establishing grounds for racial or ethnic discrimination. If an employee identifies their ethnicity as Hispanic or Latino, as well as a race, the race is not reported in EEO-1, but it is kept as part of the employment record. A person's skin color or physical appearance can also be grounds for a case of racial discrimination. Discrimination based on national origin can be grounds for a case on discrimination as well. Now, this was part of the civil rights movement. Did Latinos march? Did Asians march? Just a question. Successes. On May 1st, 2013, a Davenport, Iowa jury awarded the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission damages totaling $240 million, the largest verdict in the federal agency's history for disability discrimination and severe abuse. The jury agreed with the EEOC that Hill County Farms, doing business as Henry's Turkey Service, subjected a group of 32 men with intellectual disabilities to severe abuse and discrimination for a period between 2007 and 2009. After 20 years of similar mistreatment, this victory received international attention and was profiled in the New York Times. I don't remember it. On June 1st, 2015, the U.S. Supreme Court held in an 8-1 decision written by Justice Antonin Scalia that an employer may not refuse to hire an applicant if the employer was motivated by avoiding the need to accommodate a religious practice. I'm hearing Muslim down in my spirit. Okay. Such behavior violates the prohibition on religious discrimination contained in Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Are Black descendants of slaves for who marched and were killed for Civil Rights Act of 1964? How many of them were Muslim, do you think? Are not Baptists? Are not African Methodists? Yep, seems like to me this whole shebang helps other folks other than Black folks. Don't you see that? That's why I believe that when the reparations come down, everybody's going to get money except for the Black descendants of slaves. Mark my words, my darlings. Okay? And the Black elites will hem and haw, and they will get some little pieces of money, but the general Black community will get nothing. And however, the mixed race people and white people who call themselves black because they feel like they're black on the inside, they will get money. Watch, mark my words. Okay. Now I'm praying against that in Jesus' name. Okay. I'm praying against that in Jesus' name. That this time and from here on forward, that these people who were set apart, cut out from having any kind of a life for hundreds of years, will finally be able to be reparated and delivered from all of the hostility and mistreatment that they have to endure. That is my prayer. Okay, so EEOC General Counsel David Lopez hailed the decision. At its root, this case is about defending the quintessentially American principles of religious freedom and tolerance, Lopez said. This decision is a victory for our increasingly diverse society, and we applaud Samantha Eloff's courage and tenacity in pursuing this matter. Okay. So, meanwhile, Charlotte has been appointed. Oh. Charlotte has been appointed, and yeah, they ain't giving no information on her. But her term expires July the 1st, 2023. Mm-hmm. Gwendolyn Young Reigns is the acting general counsel. Okay. Okay, so Charlotte has a press release. Good morning to you too. And yes. Okay. So, Chairwoman Charlotte Burrows, what you got to say Today is a special day. It is, oh, Jesus. I clicked on the wrong thing, y'all. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's Equal Pay Day, which marks how far into the year a woman. Oh, shit, hold on. How do I reduce this? Okay, good. Thank God. Today is Equal Pay Day, which marks how far into the year a woman must work on average to earn as much as a man earned the year before. Women make just 82 cents for every dollar paid to men. Bill Burr's going to love this. Meaning that women had to work for nearly 15 months to earn what men did in 2020. The pay gap is even worse for women of color, immigrant women, and transgender women, reflecting the intersectional and compounding effects of gender, racial, and ethnic bias. Unfortunately, the pandemic threatens to make these disparities even worse. Ain't nobody make no money last year except for a small remnant of people. Unfortunately, the pandemic makes these even worse. Okay. Okay. It's estimated that the gender pay gap could grow by 5% due to the pandemic alone. Eliminating decades of economic progress for women. So she's saying that we're going backwards in pay. Y'all, I don't know what's going to happen, y'all. I don't know. But I have a feeling that domestic violence is going to increase. Oh my God. And there's something else going on with the Asians. It's not what they're reporting. There's something else happening, y'all. This is what they're reporting about. More attacks on Asians. They're not telling us something. And I looked up the stats, and there was very few attacks on Asians at all. There's something else going on. Maybe this young man will be able to tell us the real reason why he went to Atlanta and just started shooting up Asian people. I don't know. Some more to it, baby. Some more to it. Maybe he did it because they were disparaging black people. That makes sense to me. Okay? Because there are lots of white people who look white, but they ain't. Okay? And I've noticed that Dave Chappelle, whose wife is Filipino, he ain't saying nothing about this. What does he know? Anyway, let me get back to this. Okay. These differences in pay result from a variety of factors, but unfortunately, workplace discrimination remains a significant part of the problem. Some of the pay gaps may be explained by differences in experience. All I can tell you, this is what I can tell y'all. Whenever they code the race into payroll, it automatically takes money away. There is a different coding from an accounting standpoint. You hear me? And hear me good. From an accounting standpoint, when payroll puts in your demographic information. Okay? For instance, payroll is going to put in all of your information, your name, your social, your race, your gender. It's going to code you for all of the benefits that you get, your payroll, blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's a formula. If then, if this person is black, then this is how much of their deduction is. So you're going to put in what their pay is. And then for FICA, for federal withholding, you're going to get that information from the W-2 that the person fills out. They have these many dependents. They have no dependents. They want an additional $50 taken out of every check. Okay, this is all in payroll's wheelhouse. Okay, the accounting methodology that's put on there. If a person puts you down there as white male, you get more money. You get more money out of your check. So see, it doesn't come from just, let's see, we're going to pay this person annually $75K a year. Okay? Pay you $75K a year. And we're going to break that up by 52 weeks out of the year. And the only thing that's coming out of your check is your withholding, your Social Security, and your federal, your FICA, and any benefits that the company is not paying for. So you want dental, vision, health coverage, life insurance. You want all of these things for yourself and for your family. So for each one of those, there's a fee, right? And usually it's not much of a fee. Okay, so fine. But this is the thing that you don't know. For that $75K, for all of those line items that have been taken out, there is an additional coding that's based on your race and your sex. Okay? If they code you, which they are perfectly able to do, to code you as a white male, you see a difference in that check. Even if you're just making $13 an hour, you take an employee that is making $13 an hour, 3 employees, and you got black, female, white, female, white, male, and they're all 3 making $13 an hour. When you put in that race and the sex, it automatically takes money based on that. But if you mix it up, the what black women get is far less. It's far less. And that's the way that they have it set up this is through the IRS, this is through payroll. It's built in. It is built in. Whereas they used to have to manually do it, now it's just into the accounting codes in payroll that it just automatically does it. The only person that knows the difference is if a black woman who may have 2 jobs and she works 20 hours on this one, 20 hours on that one. Everything is the same. She has the same withholding. She's working the same hours. She makes the same rate of pay. But at this job, she is coded in payroll as a white male. And in this job, she's coded as a Black female. She can see the difference. Okay? And the only thing is difference is on this one, she's coded in payroll as a white male, and the check is way more money, like double the money that she actually gets to take home. And with this one, it's way less. That check to check living on this one. And the EEOC ain't gonna help you with that. And the only thing that a Black woman can do is, if you are not getting the money that you deserve to receive, you just can't take that job. That's the way that it's always been happening. But now, with so many Black women having degrees, they're paying them like they don't have a degree at all. And most of these young women don't know that. They don't know that. These ladies are being paid $17 an hour, and they've got a degree. They've got a master's. And that's the kind of money that they're making. Whereas $17 an hour was paid to professionals, non-blue collar workers back in the 80s who didn't have a degree. But like I say, these young people, they have the degree, but they don't know anything. They don't know that they're being cheated. They don't know. All they know is that they're stressed out. The price of living is so high, they got to pay off student loans, and their paycheck doesn't even cover rent. So you got 7 young people with college degrees living in a studio, and still trying to have some kind of a social life. It makes them desperate. It makes them do things that, I guess, it's bringing what's in them out to the surface, and it ain't good. So this is Baltimore City and Enoch Pratt Free Library. Last year, EEOC won a $200,000 judgment against them for paying 5 female librarian supervisors lower wages than a male coworker with fewer years of service and less experience. They didn't get millions. In addition to correcting the pay gap, compensating the women for lost pay, the court ordered the city to adjust the female librarians' retirement benefits to account for the unjustified pay differential. In February, the EEOC settled a pay discrimination case against Aimbridge Hospitality for $400,000. The investigation found that the hotel operator paid a male guest service representative $15.25 per hour, while paying a female front desk supervisor and female guest service representatives $11 or less per hour. The settlement requires the company to provide back pay and other damages to the affected employees and to retain an economist to conduct periodic pay equity studies. Okay. And just last week, the EEOC settled a pay discrimination case against First Metropolitan Financial Services for $100,000. The investigation concluded that the consumer loan and finance company paid female branch managers less than male branch managers for the same work. In addition to monetary relief, the consent decree requires the company to create an equal pay policy and end its practice of asking about applicants' prior earning history during the hiring process. Equal Pay Day today is an annual reminder that EEOC's work to combat pay discrimination is a crucial component to efforts to close the wage gap. As chair of the commission, I am committed to working within the agency across the government and with our civil rights and industry partners to tackle this persistent and critically important issue. To paraphrase President JFK's statement on the signing of the Equal Pay Act more than 50 years ago, our actions must affirm our determination that when women enter the labor force, they will find equality in their paychecks. So even though this came under the Civil Rights Act, it effectively does not help blacks at all. Even black women, it does not help. It helps everybody but the descendants of black slaves in America. So there you have it. If you had any kind of dealings with the EEOC, or you heard anything about them, or you'd like to share your experience, please let me know. If you want to take a look at your check and get out your trusty calculator and see, are you getting all of your money from payroll? Have they been, stealing money from you? You may want to look into that. I looked into a company who owed me $4,000. They were stealing money from me from every check. And we had a union. And I was paying $50 every paycheck to the union, which is $100. And okay, so I'm getting paid 32 cents on the dollar. I'm paying for a union. And the company stole $4,000 from me. And the union got $100 a month from me. And when I went to the union about my payroll, they did nothing. Absolutely nothing. So why am I a part of the union? Is it for a community? Is it because on Fridays I get to wear my union t-shirt? None of that. None of that. It wasn't a good community. It was just another way to get money from me. Y'all, due to COVID, I left the company. And that's still with them owing me this money. So then the HR manager actually called me. They were in this new role. Anyway, long story short, 3 months later, another HR director. 3 months later, another HR director. 3 months later, another HR director. Nobody ever asked a question. Like with this hospitality one, they're paying ladies $11 an hour, which is $4 less than the male. And so for that $4 for every hour, every week, every month, compounded, who gets that money? For every employee who is hired, especially like in a sales position, you make commission plus a bonus. When you're black, you don't know that you're supposed to get commission and a bonus. All you're getting is an hourly rate that is probably half of what they're paying your colleagues. And then your colleagues are getting commissions and bonuses, and they're not telling you. Anyway, happy Equal Pay Day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.